Hayır, güzel bir gün. For those who aren't a polyglot like myself, that means hello family. It is a beautiful day. I am here in the main Princess Island, Buya. It's the main island, the biggest island of the Princess Islands, which is off the coast of Istanbul, about an hour and a half to 2 hour ferry ride. And it's just beautiful. I thought it'd be a good place to start for my travels, or at least the video travels. I've been in Istanbul now for 3 days, and it's blown my mind so far. Absolutely. I knew it was large before I came over, but it's once you actually arrive, it really does blow your mind. So I wanted to briefly show you I'm just left the port. So behind me here, in front of me here is the water. Over to the right there, we've got a nice, beautiful old building with some mosaics. I don't know how long it's been there for, but I'd say at least a couple hundred years. Blah, blah. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just sort of start to wander through this beautiful area, expose you to some of the culture of the Turks. We'll see where the little walk takes us. So as we get further in, we'll just start to see some nice little cafes and eateries. The thing that I love most about Istanbul is a lot of the little streets that just go on forever. You just sort of keep wandering through these little nooks and crannies and come across these interesting things, and it's just everything just sort of just shocks you about how interesting it is and how much there is to see. I'll be in Istanbul for a total of a week, and I still don't think I would have even scratched the surface on what you can actually get up to here. I went yesterday to an area on the Asian side, so Istanbul, if you didn't know, is across 2 continents. There's a European side and an Asian side. I'll show you back to here. Beautiful little town square of the main island. Ice creams, dondurma is ice cream. We've got little restaurants, a couple that cater towards the tourist crowds, pizzas, hamburgers, etc. But yeah, yesterday I went to a place called Karakoy, which is on the Asian side, and the best way I could describe it is it's just at the port. It's basically, you get the ferry and it starts right at the port, but it's sort of like a new town on the water almost. Lots of sort of niche, sort of artsy sort of types. It's funny to see that even in a place like Turkey, there's still the types that like to sort of show up and have that artsy way and, wear the Doc Martens, and it's sort of across all cultures there's that type of people. But Karakoy was beautiful. It just had Merhaba. Merhaba. İyi misin? Yeah, the Turks, a lot of the Turks are quite friendly. It's good fun. But Karakoy, it basically just had streets and streets and streets of different bars and little cafes and even antique stores, which was funny. It's a bit glary, so I'm going to chuck these bad boys on. Best travel hack: get a pair of sunglass safety glasses that I found before I left. Good for staunch. Good for safety. So we'll continue walking. Actually, you know what? Take a left. So we'll continue through the sort of little streets of eateries near the port, just to give you a bit more of an exposure to what sort of shops, how they look, yada yada. And just sort of try and give you an insider's look into how the Turks run things, you know. I've absolutely found it very interesting. One thing that was quite baffling, I did also read about this before I came, but they said that it was one of the cities that just doesn't sleep. And I arrived here on Monday, so I haven't had a weekend here yet, but for example, last night I was out just walking, caught up with a friend who I met at the hostel, and we were just walking until midnight, and basically all stores were still open, and it was a Wednesday. There was, you know, old fellas together playing backgammon, having chai, which is a Turkish tea. There was, you know, groups of university / sort of student age people just hanging around, like just in side streets, just talking smack. Like there's quite a good culture of people who just enjoy the mundane, you know, or they at least just, they don't need to be hyper stimulated, I guess. And they just sort of, you know, stand around and chat and drink tea, and, you know, give another. There's some beautiful purple flowers. Someone probably obviously knows what these are, but I do not. I've seen them on a lot of the Princess Islands, so they must be either a native or something that they've really planted all around. But they add a very nice touch to the nice little side streets, you know, where people live, and the buildings as well was something that baffled me. I think there's a lot of old architecture that, well done to the Turkish people that they looked after, and they haven't knocked them down and, you know, built flats, but they sort of look after what they've had. As you can see to the right here, and even to the left, there's an old sort of stone brick house. Yeah, but I think we'll sort of call it there, because I'll just do some more exploring. But just wanted to check in, say that I'm all good. Loving Istanbul, loving Turkey so far. Trying to, you know, pick up on a few phrases. I wouldn't say maybe phrases, but just the basics, you know, please, thank you, and getting a few laughs out of some locals is always fun. But yeah, it's the first one, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll keep these going over the next couple of weeks and months, and hopefully I get better at this. that's the aim anyway. But yeah, adios, güle güle, which is Turkish for goodbye. İyi günler. Have a nice day.